The council chamber had never been so quiet. The same massive space that once echoed with alien laughter now held only the sound of nervous breathing and the hum of life support systems. The three great species of the galaxy sat in their assigned sections, but their posture had changed completely. Gone was the arrogant confidence of rulers. In its place sat the careful attention of beings who had just learned they were not the strongest predators in the galaxy. Admiral Junho stood on the central platform where Councillor Vexthal had mocked humanity just months before. His uniform was simple, his bearing calm. Behind him, a holographic display showed the image of the Indomitable floating peacefully in space near the council station. Honored councillors, Junho began, his voice carrying clearly through the vast chamber. Humanity comes before you today not as supplicants, but as equals. We have demonstrated our military capability. Now we wish to demonstrate our commitment to peace and cooperation. Ambassador Hyunwoo sat in the human section, which had been expanded to accommodate a full diplomatic team. Dr. Yoonji, the chief science advisor, reviewed her presentation materials. General Kyung-soo monitored tactical reports from human forces across the galaxy. They had prepared for this moment for years. High Councillor Vexthul spoke first, his voice lacking its usual authority. Admiral Junho, your demonstration was most impressive. But surely you understand that might alone does not determine galactic policy. I agree completely, Junho replied, which is why we are here to discuss the future, not to dictate it. Councillor Zephron of the Nixari chimed softly. What exactly do humans propose? Admiral Junho gestured to the holographic display, which changed to show a map of the galaxy. We propose a new galactic compact, a system based on capability and contribution, not on the accident of which species developed space travel first. The map highlighted various regions in different colors. Human space was shown in blue, but it was no longer confined to a single star system. New territories were marked throughout the galaxy. This is unacceptable, Feltar Councillor Morgus wheezed through his environmental suit. You demand territory that has belonged to our peoples for millennia. We demand nothing, Junho replied calmly. We offer to earn it. Dr. Yoonji stood and activated her own presentation. For centuries, the three galactic powers have maintained control through military dominance and technological superiority. But that system has led to stagnation. Medical advances have slowed. Scientific discovery has decreased. Entire regions of space remain unexplored. The display showed comparative charts of technological development over time. The alien civilizations had reached peaks centuries ago and remained there, while human technology showed exponential growth curves. Human science offers solutions to problems that have plagued the galaxy for generations, Dr. Yoonji continued. Our medical technology can extend Nexari lifespans by 300%. Our engineering can stabilize Feltar atmospheric processors on marginal worlds. Our weapons can protect Vorthak colonies from the deep space predators that have destroyed 12 worlds in the past century. Councillor Zephron leaned forward, her crystal body refracting light into interested patterns. These are significant claims. Can you provide proof? We can provide demonstrations, Dr. Yoonji replied. In fact, we already have. The holographic display changed to show footage of human ships protecting a Vorthak mining colony from a massive space creature. The alien miners watched in amazement as human weapons drove off the predator without harming the delicate mining equipment. This occurred 6 days ago in the outer Vorthak territories, Dr. Yoonji explained. Your colonial administrators requested emergency assistance. We provided it. Similar footage showed human medical teams treating a plague outbreak on a Feltar world, and human engineers repairing a Nexari space station that had been damaged in an accident. All of this was done freely, without request for payment or territorial concessions, Admiral Junho added. We did it because we believe in cooperation over domination. General Kyung-soo rose from his seat. However, cooperation requires mutual respect. For too long, humanity has been treated as a servant species. This must end. The holographic display changed to show military statistics. Human fleet positions were marked across the galaxy, far more than the aliens had realized. The Indomitable is one of 7 human battleships currently operational, General Kyung-soo announced. We have 40 more under construction. Our total fleet strength numbers over 15,000 vessels, all equipped with technology you have just witnessed. The alien counselors exchanged worried glances. They had assumed the humans possessed only a single advanced ship. Learning that humanity had an entire fleet of such vessels changed everything. But we do not intend to use this fleet for conquest, General Kyung-soo continued. Instead, we propose to use it as a galactic peacekeeping force. Human ships will patrol the space lanes, protect trade routes, and respond to emergency situations anywhere in the galaxy. High Counselor Vexthal's tongue flicked out nervously. And what guarantee do we have that humans will not simply become the new oppressors? Admiral Junho's expression grew serious. Because unlike the current system, we remember what it feels like to be dismissed and underestimated. We will not make that mistake. He gestured to Ambassador Hyunwoo, who stood and approached the central platform. The new Galactic Compact proposes the following structure, Hyunwoo announced. First, all species receive representation based on capability and contribution, not age of civilization. Second, territorial disputes will be settled by neutral arbitration rather than military force. Third, technology sharing becomes mandatory to prevent any single species from dominating others. Fourth, the old protected primitive zone classifications are abolished completely. The alien counselors listened in stunned silence. The humans were not just demanding equality. They were proposing to restructure galactic civilization entirely. And if we refuse? Counselor Morgus asked. General Kyung-soo answered. Then you will discover that humanity has 3,000 years of military history to draw upon, and most of it involves conflict. We can be partners in building a better galaxy, or we can be conquerors who reshape it by force. The choice is yours. The threat was delivered without anger or aggression, which somehow made it more frightening. The aliens had seen what human weapons could accomplish. They did not want to face the full might of the human military machine. How long do we have to decide? High Counselor Vexthal asked. The compact takes effect immediately in all human-controlled territories, Admiral Junho replied. You have 30 days to decide whether your own territories will join the new system voluntarily, or whether they will be encouraged to do so. Dr. Yunji added, however, the benefits of cooperation begin immediately. Any world that accepts the compact will receive immediate access to human medical, engineering, and defensive support. The presentation concluded with footage of human ships arriving at worlds throughout the galaxy, bringing aid, protection, and advanced technology. Sick people were healed. Failing infrastructure was repaired. Dangerous threats were eliminated. This is the future we offer, Admiral Junho said. A galaxy where species work together instead of against each other, where strength protects the weak instead of exploiting them, where advancement benefits everyone instead of only the few. The council chamber fell silent as the alien leaders considered their options. They could accept the new system and maintain some measure of autonomy, or they could resist and face the consequences. High Counselor Vexthal spoke for all three species when he said, The Council accepts the new Galactic Compact. We agree to the terms you have presented. The vote was unanimous. 6 months later, the galaxy had transformed beyond recognition. Human ships patrolled the major space lanes, their presence ensuring safe passage for trade vessels from all species. Pirate attacks had ceased entirely. The few criminal organizations that had tested human resolve had been eliminated swiftly and completely. On worlds throughout the galaxy, human medical teams worked alongside alien doctors to cure diseases that had plagued civilizations for centuries. Human engineers helped build new cities and repair ancient infrastructure. Human scientists shared discoveries that advanced the understanding of the universe itself. The three great powers still existed, but they were no longer the dominant force in galactic politics. Instead, they were part of a larger community where all species contributed according to their abilities and received benefits according to their needs. In the depths of space, the Indomitable and its sister ships continued their patrols. They were no longer symbols of human military might, but guardians of galactic peace. Their weapons remained ready, but their purpose had evolved from conquest to protection. Admiral Junho stood on the bridge of his ship, watching the stars wheel slowly past. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders and dangers still to be discovered. But for the first time in human history, they would face those challenges as equals among the stars. The alien species had finally learned that the most dangerous predator was not the one with the biggest teeth or the loudest roar. It was the one they never saw coming until it was too late. The alien fleet hung in space like a collection of broken toys. Where moments before there had been organized military formations, now there was only chaos. Ship captains screamed orders that made no sense. Fleet commanders stared at empty space where one of their largest dreadnoughts had been. Communications channels filled with panic, confusion, and disbelief. Admiral Junho watched the alien response with calm interest. On the main screen, he could see hundreds of ships trying to flee the system. Their hyperspace drives activated, engines fired, escape pods launched. But nothing happened. The ships remained exactly where they were. "Report on enemy fleet status," he requested. Commander Hyejin looked up from her weapons station. "Hyperspace drives are non-functional across the entire enemy fleet. We are jamming their jump capabilities using quantum interference patterns. Casualties from our demonstration shot?" The Vorthak dreadnought was evacuated successfully. All 3,000 crew members were transported to nearby ships before the vessel was destroyed. "Good. We are not here to commit murder." Captain Minji provided tactical updates. "Enemy fleet is attempting to regroup. Several wing commanders are ordering renewed attacks. Others are calling for immediate retreat. No unified response. And the council station? Defensive systems activated, but no aggressive action. They appear to be waiting to see what happens next." Admiral Junho nodded. The alien military commanders were learning what human strategic thinking looked like. Every human weapon system had been designed with multiple objectives in mind. Destroy the enemy, yes, but also demonstrate capability, minimize casualties, and maintain tactical advantages. "Sir," Lieutenant Boram called out, "we are receiving communications from individual ship commanders. Some are requesting permission to withdraw. Others are demanding we explain our technology. A few are offering to surrender. And the senior commanders? High Counselor Vexthol is attempting to rally the fleet for another attack. He is claiming that we use some kind of trick or illusion to destroy the dreadnought." Admiral Junho almost smiled. Even faced with impossible evidence, the aliens refused to believe that humans could possess superior technology. Their arrogance ran deeper than logic or reason. "Open a channel to the entire fleet," he commanded. "Channel open, Admiral." Junho's voice carried to every alien ship in the system. "This is Admiral Junho. To those commanders who wish to withdraw their forces, you have permission to leave this system immediately. We have no quarrel with individuals who choose peace over war." The response was immediate. Nearly 2,000 ships began moving away from the battle zone. These were the smart commanders, the ones who understood that they faced something beyond their ability to fight. "However," Junho continued, "to those who choose to continue this battle, understand what you are facing. The Indomitable carries weapons that can unmake matter at the quantum level. Our shields can absorb and redirect any energy weapon you possess. We can disable your ships without destroying them, or we can erase you from existence. Choose wisely." High Counselor Vexthol's voice crackled over the communication system. "Do not be fooled by human trickery. They are using some form of holographic deception. Attack now before they can use their illusions again." About 8,000 ships remained in attack formation. These were the true believers, the ones who could not accept that the natural order of the galaxy had changed. "Very well," Admiral Junho said quietly. "Commander Hyejin, prepare for non-lethal demonstration. Target the lead ships of each fleet with disabling shots. Show them that we can touch any vessel we choose. Weapon systems ready, Admiral. Targeting computers locked on priority vessels. Sung-Ho, defensive status. Shields at maximum efficiency. All defensive systems active. We are ready for whatever they can throw at us." The remaining alien fleet opened fire again. This time the attack was more focused and coordinated. Energy beams converged on single points, trying to overwhelm the human ship's defenses through concentrated firepower. Antimatter weapons detonated in carefully timed sequences. Exotic weapons that could destroy the bonds between atoms struck the Indomitable's hull. Nothing penetrated the human defenses. Captain Xiong-Ho reported calmly, "Shield efficiency holding at optimal levels. Enemy weapons are actually charging our defensive matrix. Current power level at 115%. Return fire," Admiral Junho commanded. "Non-lethal targeting. Disable their weapons and propulsion systems." The Indomitable's secondary weapons activated. Dozens of smaller energy beams reached out across space with surgical precision. Each beam touched an alien warship for a fraction of a second. Weapon systems overloaded. Engine compartments went dark. Shield generators failed. Life support systems fluctuated but remained functional. In seconds, 50 of the largest alien warships became floating hulks. powerless but intact. Continue targeting, Junho ordered. Show them that we can disable any ship at will. The demonstration continued. Human weapons reached out again and again, each shot perfectly calibrated to disable rather than destroy. Alien ships lost power, weapons failed, engines died. But crews remained alive and life support systems continued to function. Commander Hyejin looked up from her station. Admiral, we are receiving surrender requests from over 3,000 vessels. Many captains are ordering their crews to abandon ship. And the rest? Approximately 4,000 ships are attempting to maintain attack formations. However, most have lost primary weapons or propulsion. They are essentially helpless. Admiral Junho considered the situation. The alien fleet was broken but not destroyed. Their commanders were learning that human military technology operated by different rules than anything they had encountered before. Open a channel to High Counselor Vexthal personally, he commanded. The reptilian leader's face appeared on screen, scales dark with rage and humiliation. What do you want, human? I want you to understand the situation clearly, Junho replied. Your fleet has been neutralized. We have demonstrated that we can disable or destroy any ship we choose. We can prevent any vessel from leaving this system. You have two options. Speak them. Option 1. Continue this battle. We will continue to disable your ships until none remain functional. Your crews will be stranded in dead vessels, dependent on rescue that may never come. Eventually, you will be forced to surrender anyway, but with much greater loss of dignity and resources. Vexthal's eyes narrowed. And option 2. Call off your remaining forces immediately. Convene an emergency council session as we originally requested. Allow humanity to present our case for equal treatment in the galaxy. If you agree to this, we will allow your disabled vessels to regain power and your fleet to withdraw with honor. You would let us go? After we attacked you, Admiral Junho's expression softened slightly. Counselor, humanity did not come here to conquer the galaxy. We came here to claim our rightful place within it. We understand that you attacked us because you could not believe we possessed real military power. Now you know the truth. The question is, what will you do with that knowledge? The communication channel fell silent for long seconds. Around the council system, thousands of disabled alien ships drifted helplessly. Their crews waited to see what their leaders would decide. How do we know you will keep your word? Vexthal asked finally. Because if we wanted you dead, you would already be dead. Every ship in your fleet could have been destroyed instead of disabled. We chose mercy over massacre. That should tell you something about human intentions. Another long pause. Then Vexthal spoke to his fleet commanders. All vessels cease hostilities immediately. Stand down weapon systems. Prepare for emergency council session. Admiral Junho nodded with satisfaction. Commander Hyejin, begin power restoration to disabled enemy vessels. Allow them to regain propulsion and life support. Maintain weapons jamming until they withdraw to safe distance. Understood, Admiral. Beginning power restoration sequence. Across the system, alien ships that had been dead in space began to show signs of life. Engines restarted. Lights returned. Life support systems resumed full operation. The alien commanders realized that the humans had not only defeated them completely, but had done so without killing anyone. Every disabled ship could be repaired. Every crew member remained alive. It was a demonstration of power tempered by restraint that the galaxy had never seen before. High Counselor Vexthal appeared on screen one final time. The council will convene in 1 hour. You will be given the opportunity to present your case. Thank you, Counselor. The galaxy is about to change. I hope it changes for the better. As alien ships began withdrawing to safe distances, Admiral Junho allowed himself a small smile. The hard part was over. Now came the real work, building a new future for the galaxy. A future where humanity would never again be dismissed as primitive or inferior. A future where power was balanced by responsibility, and strength was tempered by wisdom. The galaxy had learned to fear human weapons. Now it would learn to respect human values. Space around the council station erupted into chaos as the largest object ever built by humanity tore through the fabric of reality itself. The Indomitable emerged from hyperspace like a predator stepping out of shadow, 5 kilometers of angular black metal, bristling with weapon systems that no alien had ever seen before. On alien ships throughout the system, alarms began screaming. Admiral Junho stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, his hands clasped behind his back. Around him, his crew worked with calm precision. These were veterans of humanity's secret war preparations, people who had trained their entire lives for this moment. "Report," Junho commanded. Captain Minji looked up from her tactical station. Long-range sensors detect 10,347 enemy vessels. They are moving to surround us. Estimated time to weapons range 12 minutes. Communications? Lieutenant Boram turned from her station. We are receiving over 4,000 different transmission attempts. Most are demands that we surrender immediately. Some are threats. A few are requests for identification. And the Council? The station has activated full defensive systems. They are demanding we explain our presence here. Admiral Junho nodded. Open a channel to all frequencies. Let every ship, every station, every world in this system hear what we have to say. Channel open, Admiral. Junho's voice carried across space to thousands of alien vessels. This is Admiral Junho of the Human Confederation Navy, commanding the battleship Indomitable. We request an immediate emergency session of the Galactic Council. The response was immediate and predictable. High Counselor Vexthul's voice crackled over the communication system, filled with rage and disbelief. How dare you bring this primitive vessel into our space? You were ordered to remain in your home system. The Council challenged humanity to demonstrate our military capability. Junho replied calmly. We have accepted that challenge. Laughter echoed across the communication channels. Alien commanders throughout the fleet found the situation amusing. One human ship against the combined might of 3 galactic powers. It seemed like suicide. Surrender now, Vexthul commanded, and we will show mercy. Continue this foolishness, and your ship will be destroyed as an example to other primitive species. Admiral Junho looked around his bridge. His officers were ready. Commander Wu Jin monitored the ship's systems. Captain Sung Ho managed the defensive arrays. Tactical Officer Su Bin tracked the movement of enemy ships, all of them waiting for his orders. You have 30 minutes to convene an emergency council session, Junho announced. After that time, we will consider your intentions hostile. The alien fleet commanders could not believe what they were hearing. Vexthul's voice turned deadly cold. 1 ship against 10,000 and you make demands? Your species' arrogance will be your destruction. We are broadcasting this entire conversation on all public channels, Lieutenant Boram reported quietly. Every world in the galaxy is watching. Good, Junho replied. Let them witness what happens when diplomacy fails. Around the Indomitable, the alien fleet moved into attack formation. Massive Vorthak dreadnoughts took positions above and below the human ship. Nexari crystal vessels formed geometric patterns that would focus their energy weapons. Feltar ships spread out to prevent any possibility of escape. Captain Minji provided continuous updates. Enemy fleet in position. They have us completely surrounded. No possible escape route. Escape was never the plan, Junho said. Wujin ship status? All systems optimal, Admiral. Weapons at full charge, shields at maximum power. Engineering reports ready for combat operations. How are our defensive systems handling their sensor scans? They cannot penetrate our hull composition. Their sensors are reading us as mostly empty space with some metal components. They have no idea what they are looking at. Admiral Junho smiled. Human metallurgy had advanced far beyond alien understanding. The Indomitable's hull was composed of materials that absorbed or redirected most forms of energy. To alien sensors, it looked like a primitive metal shell around empty space. Admiral, Boram called out, we are receiving a priority message from the Council station. Put it through. High Counselor Vexthul appeared on the main screen. His reptilian features twisted with anger. Your 30 minutes are up, human. We will not waste council time on this pathetic display. Surrender now or be destroyed. Then you have made your choice, Junho replied. All ships prepare for combat demonstration. The alien fleet commanders heard the transmission and began giving orders to their vessels. 10,000 warships powered up their weapon systems. The space around the council station began to glow with accumulated energy. They are targeting us with everything they have, Captain Minji reported. Energy weapons, kinetic projectiles, antimatter torpedoes, quantum disruptors. Total firepower is significant. Define significant. Enough to destroy a small moon, sir. Admiral Junho activated the ship's internal communication system. All hands, this is the Admiral. We are about to face the combined firepower of 3 galactic powers. You have trained your entire careers for this moment. Show them what human engineering can accomplish. Across the bridge, his officers made final preparations. Shung-ho activated shield systems that used principles the aliens had never imagined. Subin locked targeting systems onto priority enemy vessels. Wu Jin monitored power flow to weapons that had never been fired in anger. "Sir," Bo-Ram called out, "I am detecting massive energy buildup from all enemy vessels. They are preparing to fire." "Let them," Junho said calmly. "Commander Hyejin, prepare main weapons for demonstration shot. Target the largest Vorthak dreadnought." "Which setting, Admiral?" Junho considered the question. The Indomitable's weapons had multiple power levels. At maximum power, they could destroy entire planets. Today, that would not be necessary. Set weapons to minimum demonstration level. 1% power. 1%, sir? Are you certain? The goal is to demonstrate capability, not commit genocide. 1% will be more than sufficient. On the main screen, the alien fleet had completed its preparations. 10,000 ships aimed their weapons at a single human vessel. The firepower they were about to unleash could destroy any known military target. High Counselor Vexthul appeared on screen one final time. "Last chance, human. Surrender or die." Admiral Junho looked around his bridge. His crew was ready. The ship was ready. Humanity was ready. "Counselor Vexthul," he said quietly. "You wanted to see human military power. Fire when ready." The alien fleet fired. 10,000 ships unleashed their weapons simultaneously. Energy beams, plasma bolts, antimatter warheads, and exotic weapons streaked toward the human battleship. The combined firepower lit up the entire system like a newborn star. The Indomitable disappeared in a storm of destruction that should have vaporized anything made by mortal hands. For 10 seconds, space itself seemed to burn. Then the weapons fire stopped, and the aftermath began to clear. The Indomitable floated exactly where it had been before, completely undamaged. Its black hull gleamed in the light of distant stars. Not a single weapon had penetrated its defenses. Silence filled the communication channels. 10,000 alien crews stared at their sensors in disbelief. "Damage report," Admiral Junho requested calmly. "No damage, sir," Shung-ho reported. "Shields absorbed the energy and converted it to power. We are actually at 103% charge now." "Excellent. Hyejin, return fire. One shot, 1% power, target the lead Vorthak dreadnought. Target locked, firing." The Indomitable's main weapon fired once. A beam of coherent energy, no wider than a human finger, reached out across space at the speed of light. It touched the 3-kilometer-long Vorthak dreadnought for exactly 1 nanosecond. The massive alien warship simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed. Not exploded. Unmade at the molecular level. Admiral Junho's voice carried across every communication channel in the system. "That was 1% power. We have no desire for wholesale slaughter, but we will defend ourselves if attacked again. Withdraw your fleets and convene the council, or we will be forced to continue this demonstration." The galaxy held its breath and finally understood fear. Admiral So Young stood in the command center of the human colony world New Busan. The room buzzed with activity as officers worked at dozens of computer stations. On the main screen, a map of the galaxy showed thousands of points of light. Each point represented a world, a fleet, or a strategic location. Many of those points were now flashing red. "Report," So Young commanded. She was a small woman with gray hair, but her voice carried absolute authority. Every person in the room had followed her orders for years. They trusted her completely. Captain Donghyun approached with a datapad in his hands. "Operation Ghost Step is proceeding ahead of schedule. We have successfully infiltrated 47 Vorthak systems, 33 Nexari territories, and 28 Feltar zones. Casualties?" So Young asked. "0 on our side. The aliens still have no idea we are there." So Young nodded. For 3 months, human ships had been moving through alien space like shadows. They used stealth technology that made them invisible to alien sensors. Their small size let them hide behind asteroids and moons. Most importantly, they struck without warning and disappeared before anyone could respond. Commander Ye Jin stepped up to the central table. "The aliens are calling it the ghost problem. They think space pirates are responsible for the attacks." "What attacks?" So Young asked with a slight smile. 43 communication stations have gone offline. 67 patrol ships have vanished without sending distress signals. Over 100 supply convoys have been raided, their cargo stolen. Dr. Insu joined the group. He was the chief weapons engineer. responsible for humanity's most advanced military technology. The beauty is that we are not actually killing anyone. We disable their ships, steal what we need, and let the crews drift until rescue arrives. They think we are criminals, not an enemy military force, Dong-hyun added. Each alien government blames the others for not protecting their space properly. So-young walked to the main display. Show me the big picture. The screen changed to show major alien fleet positions. Thousands of ships were marked in blue for Vorthak, green for Nexari, and yellow for Feltar. They have impressive numbers, Yejin observed. Over 50,000 major warships between the three powers. Numbers mean nothing if you cannot find your enemy, So-young replied. Insu, what have we learned about their technology? The engineer activated a holographic display showing alien ship designs. Their weapons are powerful but predictable. They have followed the same basic patterns for thousands of years. Their shields are strong against energy weapons but weak against certain frequencies. Most importantly, he continued, they have become lazy. Every Vorthak ship uses identical shield generators. Every Nexari vessel has the same weapon systems. They have standardized everything across their entire military. And standardization is weakness, So-young said. If you know how to defeat one ship, you can defeat them all. Captain Dong-hyun brought up tactical reports. Our stealth raids have confirmed this. Once we discovered the frequency that disrupts Vorthak shields, every one of their ships became vulnerable. The same pattern works on Nexari and Feltar vessels. They have grown comfortable with their power, Yejin added. For millennia, no one has challenged them. They have forgotten how to fight a real war. So-young turned to face her officers. And we have never forgotten. Humanity has been at war for most of our history. We understand conflict in ways these aliens cannot imagine. The main screen shifted to show human fleet positions. Unlike the aliens' massive formations, human ships were scattered across the galaxy in small groups. They moved constantly, never staying in one place long enough to be detected. Phase 2 is nearly complete, So-young announced. We have mapped their defenses, identified their weaknesses, and positioned our forces. The aliens still think we are a minor annoyance. When do we move to Phase 3? Dong-hyun asked. Soon. But first we need to give them one final chance to understand what they are facing. So-young walked to a secured communication station. She entered a series of codes that would send a message through quantum channels to a ship hidden in the outer rim of the galaxy. Admiral So-young to Indomitable, she spoke into the communicator. Admiral Junho, are you ready to make our introduction? The response came back immediately. Indomitable, ready for deployment. All systems operational. We await your orders. So-young paused for a moment. Once she gave the next command, there would be no going back. The galaxy would change forever. Deploy to the council system, she ordered. It is time to show them what human engineering can accomplish. Understood. Indomitable, beginning jump sequence now. The communication ended. Around the command center, human officers continued their work. On screens across the room, red dots showed the positions of their hidden forces throughout the galaxy. Dr. Insu approached So-young with a concerned expression. Admiral, the Indomitable will be facing the combined fleets of 3 galactic powers. Even with our advantages, the odds are not good. The odds, So-young replied, are exactly what we want them to be. The aliens need to see something impossible. They need to witness power beyond their understanding. And if they choose to fight instead of negotiate, So-young's smile was cold as space itself, then they will learn why humanity survived thousands of years of warfare on a single planet. We did not become peaceful because we forgot how to fight. We became peaceful because we became too good at it. On the screen, status reports continued to flow in from across the galaxy. Human ships reported successful missions. Alien patrols avoided, strategic positions secured. The vast alien fleets moved in their predictable patterns, unaware that death moved silently around them. The council wanted to see our greatest warship, So-young said to her officers. They will get their wish, but they expect to see human weakness. Instead, they will witness the result of 3 centuries of secret preparation. Commander Yejin looked up from her station. Admiral, we are receiving reports from intelligence assets at the council station. The aliens are preparing a massive fleet demonstration. They plan to destroy our ship as soon as it arrives. How many ships? Over 10,000. They are calling it the largest military gathering in galactic history. So-young laughed, a sound without humor. 10,000 ships against 1. They think these odds guarantee their victory. Do they not? Dr. Insu asked. Doctor, what is the primary difference between human military thinking and alien military thinking? Insu considered the question. The aliens rely on overwhelming force and superior numbers. And humans? Humans assume they are outnumbered and plan accordingly. Exactly. For 3 centuries, we have designed our weapons and ships under the assumption that we would face impossible odds. Every human weapon system is built to fight outnumbered. Every defense is designed to survive overwhelming attack. So Young turned back to the main screen. The aliens have never fought a species that expected to lose every battle. They do not understand that sometimes the underdog bites back. A new message appeared on the communication screen. It was from the Indomitable. Jump complete. Approaching Council System. Enemy fleet detected. Numbers confirmed 10,000 plus vessels. Preparing for contact. So Young picked up the communicator one last time. Admiral Junho, you have permission to demonstrate human military capability. Show them what 300 years of preparation has accomplished. Understood, Admiral. Proceeding with demonstration. The command center fell silent. Every human officer knew that the next few hours would determine the future of their species. Either humanity would claim its place among the galactic powers, or they would be destroyed as a warning to other species that dared challenge the established order. But So Young felt no fear. She had seen the Indomitable. She knew what human science could accomplish when survival was at stake. The galaxy was about to learn that the most dangerous enemy is the one you underestimate. The massive space station hung in the void like a jewel. It was bigger than most moons, made of metal that gleamed silver and gold in the light of distant stars. This was the heart of galactic power, the Confederation Council Station. Here, the 3 greatest species in the galaxy made decisions that affected billions of worlds. Hyunwoo walked through the grand hallway, his footsteps echoing on the polished floor. The ceiling stretched high above him, decorated with symbols from 1,000 different worlds. But he knew the truth. Only 3 species really mattered here. The reptilian Vorthak with their sharp teeth and cold eyes, the crystal beings called Nexari who looked like walking diamonds, and the gas creatures known as Feltar who floated in special suits filled with their home atmosphere. Remember, Taemin whispered beside him. We are just observers today, nothing more, Hyunwoo nodded. Taemin was his military advisor, a man who had seen too many battles. His uniform was simple compared to the fancy clothes worn by the alien diplomats. But Hyunwoo knew that simple did not mean weak. Behind them, Jiun carried a small device that looked like a normal communication pad. She was their intelligence officer, and the device was recording everything. Every word, every gesture, every sign of alien arrogance would be remembered. The council chamber was enormous. Thousands of seats rose in circles around a central platform, but only 3 sections were filled. The Vorthak sat on one side, their scales gleaming under the lights. The Nexari occupied another section, their crystal bodies refracting light into rainbow patterns. The Feltar floated in their environmental suits in the 3rd area. In a small corner, barely visible, sat the human delegation. 3 people in a chamber built for thousands, 3 representatives of a species that the galaxy considered barely worth noticing. High Counselor Vex Thul stood on the central platform. He was a massive Vorthak, twice the height of a human, with scales that looked like black armor. His voice boomed across the chamber when he spoke. Today we discuss the human petition, he said, and laughter rippled through the alien sections. These creatures from the 3rd planet of a minor star system request full membership in our confederation. More laughter. Hyunwoo kept his face calm, but his hands clenched into fists. Counselor Zephyron of the Nexari rose next. Her crystal body chimed like bells when she moved. The humans have been classified as a primitive agricultural world for over 2 centuries. Nothing has changed. They build crude copies of our technology, added Feltar Counselor Morgus, his voice coming through the translator in his suit. They call their metal tubes warships and think themselves mighty. Vexthul's tongue flicked out, tasting the air. Humans are useful as workers. They breed quickly and follow orders well, but they are not ready for true civilization. Hyunwoo stood up slowly. The chamber fell silent. It was rare for any human to speak in this place. Honored counselors, he began, his voice carrying clearly through the vast space. Humanity has achieved faster than light travel. We have colonized 12 worlds. Our technology grows more advanced every year. We ask only for the same rights given to other spacefaring species. The silence lasted for exactly 3 seconds. Then the laughter began again, louder this time. Faster than light travel? Vexthal's voice dripped with amusement. You mean those slow, clumsy ships that take weeks to cross distances our vessels cover in days? 12 worlds? Zephyron's chime sounded like mockery. The Nexari Collective controls over 10,000 systems. The Vorthak Empire spans half the galaxy. Your weapons are toys, Morgus added. Your shields are paper. Your advanced technology would not impress a Feltar child. Hyunwoo remained standing. We ask only for a chance to prove ourselves worthy. Prove yourselves? Vexthal moved closer to the human section. Very well. Show us this human might. Bring your greatest warship here. Let us see what your species calls power. The other counselors approved with various sounds, hisses from the Vorthak, chimes from the Nexari, whispers from the Feltar. But, Vexthal continued, his smile showing rows of sharp teeth, when your pathetic vessel arrives, and we demonstrate how weak you truly are, humanity will accept its place. No more petitions, no more requests. You will remain in your little corner of space forever. And if our ship proves adequate, Hyunwoo asked, then we will consider your request, Vexthal lied smoothly. But that will never happen. Your species builds toys and calls them warships. You know nothing of true power. The vote was quick and unanimous. The human petition was rejected. Worse, new restrictions were placed on human space travel. The entire Sol system was declared a protected primitive zone. No human vessel would be allowed beyond their home system without special permission. As the council session ended, aliens filed out of the chamber. Still chuckling about human arrogance, they spoke of the entertainment value of seeing a human warship attempt to challenge real military power. Hyunwoo waited until they were alone. Then he activated a hidden device built into his uniform. It was smaller than his fingernail and completely undetectable by alien sensors. Phase 1 complete, he said quietly into the device. They have made their position clear. They reject any possibility of human equality. They view us as animals to be kept in a cage. Taemin leaned closer. Are you certain about this path? There can be no going back. They have made the choice for us, Hyunwoo replied. For 200 years we have tried diplomacy. We have offered friendship, trade, cooperation. They respond with contempt. Jiun checked her recording device. Everything is documented. The galaxy will know that we tried the peaceful way first. Hyunwoo spoke into the hidden communicator again. Initiate Phase 2, send word to Admiral So-young. Tell her the Council has chosen war over peace. They want to see human military power. He paused, looking up at the empty alien seats. They will get their wish. The 3 humans left the chamber quietly. Behind them, the great station continued its slow orbit around the galactic core. The aliens went about their business, confident in their superiority. They had dismissed the human threat as easily as they would swat an insect. They had no idea that the insect had grown claws. In deep space, far from the Council station, encrypted messages traveled through quantum channels. On dozens of human worlds, military commanders received new orders. Ships that had waited in hidden bases began to move. Weapons that had been tested only in secret were loaded and armed. The galaxy's 3 great powers had just made the worst mistake in their long history. They had given humanity no choice but war, and humanity had been preparing for this moment for a very long time.